I do understand that you're gonna have PA Pam who does not want to get off the PA system. So sometimes I do get it. You do not want to listen to all of our PAs, but I can hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat and I am a flight attendant for a major US airline. Now, I have been flying for a little over 2.5 years now, so I have a pretty good idea about what you guys do that gets on my nerves. So I do want to go ahead and put out a warning for any of my flight attendants that are watching this video. I do know that some of these things can be a trigger for you, as they are for me. So if you guys are watching this and you look at me and you think, wow, she seems like she's getting visibly upset, it's because I am. Okay, but anyways, I also know that some of you are probably currently warming up your fingers and getting ready to be an internet warrior in my comment section. But before you go ahead and do that, I do want to let you know that currently on Instagram, I do have a questionnaire going on that is allowing you to comment on what flight attendants do that get on passengers' nerves. So I am going to gladly let you roast me and all of my coworkers as I'm about to roast you. Now, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I will link it right here, so you can go follow me, so next time I do something like this you can participate. But if you did not get the opportunity to go ahead and participate in my questionnaire, you can go ahead and comment down below, and I will try and put as many of your comments in there before I film that video into it. This video is intended to be kind of light humor and just really funny, but also pretty informative, so if you do some of these things, you're probably getting on your flight attendant's nerves. But overall, it's just supposed to be a joke, a good sense of humor, so I hope everybody who is watching this has a good sense of humor. Now, with all of that off my chest, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you guys do that gets on my ever-living, ever-loving last nerve is you overstay your welcome in the galley area. Now, I do know that there are people with medical conditions that do need to get up and start walking around. I think it's healthy to get up and start moving around. But with that being said, when we're trying to do service and you're up walking around, it can be really disruptive of us trying to work. But also, when you are going and doing stretching and yoga, or you are staying far too long to chit chat in the galley, it gets really uncomfortable. It's just like, that's our space to work. I think we're all pretty familiar with the fact that there's not a lot of room on planes. So the galley is kind of like our special area and our work area for the most part. So when you guys are overstaying your welcome back there, it gets really complicated for us to actually work. So if you do have a medical condition and you do need to get up, or it's just a long haul flight and you really do want to stretch, that's fine. But just be more mindful about how long you're actually spending back there. And also, what are your flight attendants doing? If they're trying to work, please do your best to stay out of our way, because again, we all know there's no space on planes anymore. Okay, number 2. Now, I think this one is really geared to me because it disgusts me beyond belief. I think many flight attendants are germaphobes.
What?
And if you're not a germaphobe, just give it a couple years and you're going to learn to be a germaphobe. But when people take their shoes off, that one really gets me. I think some flight attendants are more understanding about that than maybe me, especially when you're not putting your feet on like the bulkhead or your neighbor's seat. But for me personally, it's so gross. I think it's so gross, especially when you get the shoes off, you get the socks off, and then you add that trifecta in there and you go walk to the bathroom with your nasty bare feet and track all of those bathroom juices through the plane. Disgusting. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. That's one. If you can't tell, that is a trigger for me. Ooh. Deep breaths. Okay, shoes on, you guys. Shoes on. And even if you want to take the shoes off, keep the socks on. At least keep the socks on. Please just keep your socks on. Okay, number 3. When I am trying to speak to you with a beverage cart in front of me asking you what you would like to drink, and you do not remove your headphones or your earbuds. I think it is so rude and disrespectful. It's pretty clear when we're walking down the aisle. It's pretty clear when we're stopping at your row. It's pretty clear when my hand is waving in front of your face to try and get your attention. And if you do not have the respect enough to take your headphones out, I'm gonna give you 2 times in a wave, and if that doesn't work, I'm moving on. And please do not come to me after I move on and try and say, hey, you skipped me. Well, yes, because you skipped your manners. please take your headphones out. If I'm trying to talk to you, please take your headphones out. Oh, just a little bonus one. I also think it's pretty funny when you guys ask, like, what do you have? I have a menu right in front of you in your seat back pocket for you to read. That's what I have. Okay, moving on. Number 4, when you are not listening to our PAs. Oh my goodness, you guys. I do understand that you're gonna have PA Pam who does not want to get off the PA system. So sometimes I do get it. You do not want to listen to all of our PAs. But we are making PAs, it's usually because 1, we're required, or 2, we have really important information that we'd like to get you, or 3, we just want to give you some information so we don't have to repeat ourselves to every single passenger. So it does really annoy us sometimes when you're not listening to our PAs because that information is important and we don't want to be answering 5 people all with the same question. So if I make a PA and saying due to unexpected turbulence off and on this flight, we're not going to be having any hot beverages this morning, including coffee and tea, and I get to your row and suddenly you order coffee or tea. Somebody wasn't listening. Okay, next one. Number 5. When you guys put the luggage in the overhead bins incorrectly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned on the fasten seatbelts as well will be landing in a few minutes. In preparation for our arrival, we are kindly asked you to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt. Please place your tray table into the fully upright position, open your window blinds and store your luggage under the seat in front of you.
Oh, you guys. In some of the planes, there's even icons on the bins that show you how to put your luggage up there. And the reason I think that this one gets on my nerves specifically is because the same with there not being a lot of room on the planes, there's not a lot of room in the overhead bins. And since everybody can now bring a personal item and to carry on, it's just easier for you guys to put your large carry-on items up there, and unless you're in the bulkhead, all personal items should be underneath your seat. So when you guys put your bags in there, they're all kind of like wonky and weird, or I don't know what some of you are doing, but it just makes it hard to get the most amount of passengers' bags up there before we have to start forcing people to check their bags. And also, if your bag is halfway hanging out, you know that bin's not gonna shut, right? Like, you know it's not gonna shut. Please do not make me start playing that little kid game with the shapes and the blocks and it's not fun. I don't wanna play that with your suitcase, especially with the way that some of you are packing. It's heavy. And please just put your bag in there correctly, and if it's not fitting one way, move it and make it fit another, or we will gladly check your bag for you. Just please put your bags up there correctly in the most efficient manner so we can get the most bags on the plane as possible. Number 6, and we can just go ahead and tag this along with number 5. Do not ask me to put your luggage in the overhead bin for you. I am not allowed to lift your luggage and put it in the overhead bin. It's just a safety precaution to watch our backs and everything, because again, some of y'all are really pushing that maximum weight on your packing. Like, y'all are packing nowadays. So we are not allowed to lift your bags. Please don't ask me. I will gladly check your bag for you if you cannot lift it, but if you pack it, you need to stow it. And if you cannot stow it, I'm sorry, it has to be checked. Due to protocol, I will not be lifting it. Sorry. Okay, number 7. Do not touch me. Do not poke me, do not pull on my dress, do not grab me. There are call bells. If I walked past you and you didn't get my attention, just hit that call bell right above your head or in front of you, wherever it's located, and I will gladly turn around and look for who rang the call bell. But do not put your hands on me, ever, like ever. As soon as you're, bring it back in, okay? Okay, number 8. Do not ask me about your tight connections when we arrive on time. I don't know how some of you guys do it. Like, you're booking your own flights and some of you book the tightest connections that I can't even imagine that it let you book that. So if you booked it and we're on time and you're asking me about your connection, clearly you did something wrong, okay? So please don't start bothering me with your million questions asking about your tight connection when you know that you booked that flight incorrectly. And I know sometimes when you arrive early and you would really like to go up to a gate, but they don't have one available table for you. And so sometimes you can end up sitting there. So sometimes you arrive early, but you can't actually pull up to the gate until you're on time. So if that's what happened, if we sat there for 10-15 minutes waiting to pull up to the gate, but we arrive on time, don't ask me about your tight connection. If you're worried about your connections, try and put a little bit more buffer room in between, because in the airline industry, you never know. Anything and everything can go incredibly wrong, which is unfortunate. But just give yourself a little bit of buffer time. It's enough time to use the restroom. It's enough time to get you some food. So even if you didn't need it, it's there, okay? Now, if we're delayed and you're asking me about your connections, I'm definitely so much more understanding about that, because not everybody is flying to go on vacation. So I do understand people have funerals, business arrangements, other things that they need to get to. So I don't mind answering questions about connections, but at the same time, also know that I'm on the plane with you and I have no way to talk to gate agents to let them know. People usually can tell where you're at. So if you are at the airport or sitting there waiting to taxi into the gate, they will know. And especially for international flights, if there's enough of you that are not there, they're going to hold the plane for you so you can get there. Because a lot of times you're only gonna have like maybe one of those flights going out a day. So sometimes on those instances, like when it is like an international flight or something like that, they actually will hold the plane for you. Just a heads up. But I have no way to talk to the gate agent, so I have no way to tell them that you're here. And also we do make the PAs for people to stay seated so you can hurry up and get off the flight. But at the same time, just being honest, they usually don't work. Okay, number 9. When you're not planning, your restroom breaks out efficiently. Because I do think it's pretty funny. Some of you will be sitting at the gate for 45 minutes to an hour and never use the restroom, and then as soon as you get on the plane, you're going to the restroom. You had a grown-up bathroom that was much more sanitary over here, but you chose to use the airplane bathroom. That's pretty gross. I don't know. It's fine, but it's weird. But when you're holding it, and then as soon as we start pushing the cart out, you need to use the restroom, you're getting in the way. And especially on international flights, we have protocol that you have to use the restrooms in your sections. That is not my rule. I did not make it up, and I hate being rude to people and telling them, even though the bathroom is right in front of them, that they can't go use that restroom. They have to use the one in their own section. I hate telling people that, but it is a safety protocol on international flights. They do not want a bunch of people outside of their cabins, especially near the flight deck door. I'm sorry, I hate being that person, but we do need you to use the lavatories in your own section. So please, 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 please keep your eyes on your flight attendants so you know when they're gonna be doing service, so you're not trying to go up and use the restroom in the middle of service and then suddenly get stuck because of the cart. All right, and number 10, please do not ask me to take your trash while I'm serving food and drinks. It's a sanitation thing. We don't carry trash while we're serving food and beverages. It's just, we're not supposed to do that. If you see a flight attendant doing that, they're not supposed to be doing that. We'll serve beverages and snacks, then we'll pick up trash. Then we'll serve whatever else we need to be serving, then we'll pick up trash. Then we'll pick up trash, then we'll pick up trash, and we'll pick up trash. And then suddenly we're deplaning and you'll leave your trash on board. But you get what I'm saying. Please don't ask me to pick up your trash when I am doing service. I'm so sorry, I have nowhere to put your trash except with the clean beverages and food, and that's not going to happen. So just hang on to your trash. We're gonna do like 10 million trash services, even though I know you're probably gonna leave your trash on the plane. But just hang on to it until we're done serving meals and drinks. So if you did find this video funny, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I post a lot of tips, tricks, and travel secrets. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.